Okay, so we're going to look at zinc blend. What a beautiful structure. It's sure to be one of your favorites. Um, and well, actually, honestly though, it has some fantastic similarities to diamond cubic. Okay, diamond cubic's got some tetrahedral symmetry in there. It's great, and let's sketch it. Let's get it. And it's actually quite common. There's other. The other thing to mention with ceramic structures is we call them zinc blende. We call or we said, oh, rock salt or NaCl. Well, that doesn't mean that NaCl is the only structure in all of the universe that has that same arrangement of anions and cations. No, it's just that we named it after kind of the most famous ceramic that has that type of arrangement. With metals, we have FCC, has face-centered cubic, and it doesn't, and body-centered cubic. We have other structures, but face-centered cubic doesn't. We didn't say, oh, it's the aluminum crystal structure. We just said FCC. It defined the positions, but you can appreciate that with a couple of different types of ions, it would be a little bit more difficult to describe this structure. You could say, oh, it's the face-centered anion octahedral cation structure. That's a mouthful. So what people have done, what we've done historically, is named it after the most famous ceramic structure that has um, that arrangement of anions and cations. So again, zinc blend is the same. It's not just zinc and sulfur that has this arrangement. There's other important semiconductor devices, say for example, that have the zinc blend crystal structure. And let's look at it. So it's cubic, all right. And so I'm going to draw a cube. And what we usually do is position the anions first. They tend to be bigger. They've accepted an electron, so they're a little bit bigger. And we're going to fire them into these cubic positions first of all. So we got all the 8 corners with a with a sulfur, yeah. And then I'm going to go and I'm going to make the zinc. I'm going to color code this for you. So we've got sulfur in these corner positions, but then there's also face-centered positions, making this face-centered cubic in positioning. Okay, but remember that the anions are not necessarily touching across the face diagonals. Right, that's what they do for face-centered cubic, but this is not face-centered cubic. This is just anions, sulfur. Let me be more general, and I'll say anions. Okay, in I'll call it FCC type. Right, that is, their centers reside in an arrangement that you would recognize as being face-centered cubic, but that they're not necessarily touching each other across the face diagonals, face FCC type positions. All right, so take your known and build on that with the unknown. And what do you know? Well, you know face-centered cubic quite well. So we start with that, and then what we need to do is we need to position cations within that structure. Well, the stoichiometry gives us a hint here. It's a 1-to-1 ratio, so we have to populate interstitial sites or position these cations into sites between the anions such that we've got the same number of cations as anions. If they're FCC positions for anions, we know right away that the number of anions within the unit cell is 4. 8 corners times 1/8 plus 6 faces times 1/2. That's 3 plus 1 is 4. And the size ratio here, the radius of the cation to the radius of the anion, if you looked it up for zinc and sulfur, you'd find that it positioned zinc into those tetrahedral interstitial sites. And we've seen those, we can see them in the same positions that carbon atoms occupy in diamond cubic. So we've got the front, bottom, left. Okay, and then we've got the back, bottom. So if we're just populating the bottom first, they're going to alternate spatially. And then this is, so it's towards the right. And dot that in. Okay, and then towards the top, we then have the top. This would be the Well, actually, let's do it the same order. Front, okay, that's towards the front. It's towards the top, and it is again towards the right. But you can see, compare it to back, bottom, right, it's alternated, it's staggered, right? And then the other top position is got to be at the back left. So this is the top. Correction, I keep doing the wrong order here. So I want to do top, front, back first. So this is the back. Okay, that's the back. It's the top, but this time it's the left. And so those are the positions. And again, as I did, as we can consider for diamond cubic, if you want to picture those positions, it helps sometimes to visualize the unit cell as being broken down into these 8 little subcubes. Okay, so there's our overall unit cell in all its glory. Oh my goodness, this is okay. Those are supposed to be straight lines, but I think you'll get the idea. And if I slice this up, okay, I sliced up front to back, so in the front to back, in the plane of the page, and horizontally in the horizontal plane, I get 8 little subcubes, and then I see, well, I'm going to occupy only half of them, right? Because how many? There's 8, but there's 8 subcubes, so there's 8 of these tetrahedral positions, right? That's what these green little boxes have told us. There's 8 tetrahedral sites, but only half, I'll write the word out half, more clear, only half are occupied. So an interstitial site is just a potential space. It doesn't have to have an atom there. And so then which other one is occupied? Well, this one here, back, bottom right. And then this guy here, they're staggered. So they're staggered. Why are they staggered? They're staggered to separate like charges, these cations, maximally in space. Right? Maximum spatial separation here by staggering like this. And by only occupying half, you maintain the stoichiometry. That's 1-to-1 anion to cation. And so that's the zinc blende crystal structure. Okay, there it is. Zinc blende crystal structure, face-centered cubic positioning of anions with half of the cations, with cations in tetrahedral sites, only half of them, and they're staggered spatially.